Hi everyone, I am Ingie and welcome to my Patreon. I founded TarotIngie in 2014 and it grew really fast. It had a different name then. I've changed the name to TarotIngie, and since then I have created YouTube videos and courses, and now I'm also on Patreon. What I want to achieve with this Patreon is basically a place for people to comment. I had to close the comment section down on TarotIngie. People used to write to me what their cards were. If they didn't understand them, I could help them understand the cards. But the comment section just grew and grew and grew so fast and so big that to keep TarotIngie running fast and smooth, I couldn't have the comment section open anymore. And I think Patreon is a good alternative. Here I can share spreads, I can share tutorials. And for those of you who want to get some perspective, maybe a deeper perspective on the cards, or maybe just some help getting an objective or an outside view, I think Patreon can be a really good place. And the best advice I can give you guys, if you really want to become a good tarot reader, it is to let the tarot explain to you what they mean. That means you might need a second deck. And let's say you're pulling a card for a situation. I'm going to pull a random card now. I got the Star. And maybe you don't understand exactly what the Star means in your situation. Maybe you laid out the full Celtic cross and the Star ended up in the secret position, and maybe you just don't understand what it means for you in this situation. You can use a second deck just to ask about this card. When I began blogging about tarot cards and specific meanings, what they mean in love, career, feelings, personality, that's how I did it. I would ask the deck, I would ask the tarot to explain what a card meant in all different types of situations. And then I began oracle mixing, and I used the runes more and more, and they work together. So I will lay out, my cards, and then if there's a position that is unclear, I will ask the runes and they will say what that card means in that situation for the person. And that is what I want my Patreon also to be about, is to help you guys to think outside the box, let the tarot guide you. What does the tarot actually mean? The tarot will tell you what the cards mean. Another thing that I'm really passionate about when it comes to tarot, it is intuitive training, and I do regularly do tutorials on intuitive training. And one of my favorite exercises that you can do if you have a deck of cards, it is to pick out a card. Don't look at it, you just pick a random card, and then you use the rest of the deck or a second deck, but you might as well just use the rest of the deck. Shuffle and cut the deck, and you ask the cards to describe this card, and then it'd be interesting to see. It is always interesting to see how the tarot chooses to answer that, and then you start talking and you describe it as if it was a person having a reading. You look at the card, and then you learn something new. You get another level and understanding of the card, and that is how I recommend that you approach the cards. You will become more intuitive. You will understand the cards on a deeper level, and you will begin to look at yourself in the same way. Like, you can describe yourself in the same way. Why am I acting like this, or why am I thinking like this, or what's the best thing I can do in this situation? The questions that I really enjoy is how can I? So instead of will this happen, or am I gonna be abundant? Am I gonna meet my soulmate? You can instead say, how am I gonna be successful? How can I best be successful? What area will I have the most enjoyment and fulfillment? How can I meet my soulmate? What beliefs can I change to easier attract the soulmate? That can be a bit of a process, especially for people who have been hurt, but it is better to get started on it than to procrastinate on it, because life, I believe, is about love and happiness. and it certainly can be a very enjoyable experience if you let it. But we need to be a little bit like the tower. I guess we have to break down our walls so we can let the light in, and once we have more love and compassion, we will also, I believe, have more flow in our lives. So I look forward to see you guys inside my Patreon. Bye everyone!